Oh my goodness gracious. You might be an investor. You may have inherited some land, some property, or maybe you're a wholesaler looking to share an opportunity for land investors out there. And you have this piece of land and you find out that it doesn't pass the perk. It does not perk. It's time for the percolation. Dun, dun. It's time for the percolation, and it doesn't pass perk. What do you do? That's what we're going to talk about today at the Life in Transitions Experts YouTube channel, Facebook group, and podcast. I'm Courtney Rollins. I am the host as well as the owner operator of Estate Pro Service LLC, where I'm a life in transitions property expert, helping folks through some of the biggest transitions in life, particularly deal with the property and all type of things that come along with that. And this is actually something that I've had to challenges come up for me, so I figured I would share it with you because quite often when I'm dealing with property or land, the first question someone asks if they are a buyer or interested is, did it pass perk? Did it perk? So we're going to talk about what perk is and some things that you can do if your land does not pass the soil percolation test. Now, there's some disclaimers here. North Carolina, you don't necessarily have to have the land pass percolation for it to be suitable to do a lot of things on it. However, percolation, let's just go ahead and jump into it. What percolation is? Percolation test is a procedure that's used to check and see what the water drainage is for different types of soil. It's really important when you're talking about septics and water and building and designing. So it's very important for folks to understand that, and a perk test is often done. However, there's so many advances in soil technology that's happened over the years that there are different alternative ways that people can find out and create healthy ways for folks to use the land. However, as things change, a lot of people are resistant to change because they're used to certain things. So many buyers, many builders, many folks are still set on understanding if things perk, and it can become, depending on the land, expensive going alternative routes at times. Sometimes there can be more economical routes to go as well, but it's still, those times are catching up. So in the meantime, between time, people are still wanting to know what happens and what you can do if a property does not perk. And so we are going to take a look at that over here. All right. So let's rock and roll. What is a soil? I already said what a soil percolation test is. Oh, what's up? Hi, good morning, Maurice. Good morning there. That must be Cleo Rollins. She is an awesome lady who's done an awesome job. She's had some awesome kids in her life. I'm actually have been one of them. Known her all my life. That's Mother dear. So hey, Mama, how you doing there? Thanks for checking it out. And thanks to everybody who else is also viewing and watching. Feel free to leave a comment or ask a question if or really just share what's going on in your world. And if you have topics that you want us to cover, feel free to share because all my topics come from either a majority of them come from folks that I've worked with and questions or challenges they have. Or experiences that I've had. So here, let's jump in. Here's the number one. Well, one not in particular order, but one thing that you could do is convert the property into a recreational land use. To go to zoning. All these will require speaking to zoning. Definitely recommend that if you have legal representation, find out the different routes. But really, a lot of it could just be getting on a call, emailing, or going down to an office, smiling and asking questions to the zoning and the health department. Those are two in North Carolina very important departments when it comes to planning, but it may be called different things in your jurisdiction. But maybe you can turn it into recreational land, which has its use, has its purposes, and people enjoy. There are a lot of land buyers who buy property and specifically set it up for recreation use so that people can hunt on them, or people can set up their RVs and different things of that nature. All right. It could also become agricultural use. I have some folks who are looking for land that they can use to to grow crops. Some crops actually thrive in wetter soil, so crops like rice or cranberries and other things like that would be great for properties that or land that has a rich or heavy concentration of water. So you never know. I actually have someone who's looking for land, and I have a buyer that still in negotiation with, and hopefully get the contract back sometime today. I have to follow up on that, but he has farmland, and I have a buyer who specifically said he's looking for farmland. So I may be able to do my job and put those together and offer solutions to both of those folks' needs. Another thing is perhaps a wildlife habitat. You can turn it into, if it could be very rewarding for you to do that, plant either native vegetation or creating ponds or creating nesting areas, working with your local communities and even the private organizations to help create biodiverse spaces is a great opportunity to give, to share, and you may be able to, turn a considerable profit, whether that's money wise or spirit wise. So wildlife habitat is one idea. Here's another great idea: solar or wind farms. Depending on the size, of course, and the regulations, you may be able to help generate energy for folks, sustainable energy, and getting part of that band. And there are a lot of government subsidies that are out there for pieces of land that fit that space in the area. Number five, an awesome one. This is storage. The tenants of storage facilities are a lot less talkative, I would say, than when you have your more traditional tenants and all. So storage units are like a great source of recess proof, pretty much investment spaces. So being able to build storage facilities and have people either put their equipment or RV parking, boat, there's a lot of different things that you can store, and it's a very great opportunity to get into the multi-unit space without the family in the multi-family unit space. Multi-family's been pretty sexy the last several years and really all throughout the history of real estate investing. But this is one way you can do it without uh, having the tenants look a little different. Another thing similar to horticulture is turn it into a community garden. You could perhaps charge a fee and provide opportunity to make something beautiful. Folks who want to have the different ways you can structure it, but it promotes community engagement, definitely fosters a sense of belonging in the space, and could actually help with some of the other ARVs, and especially if you're working in that area. And it also encourages sustainable practices, which is pretty awesome. The last thing about it is back to like a more passive recreation space. It could be for park benches, walking, picnic areas. You could have a lot of tax subsidies depending on where you are, based on this. So there are alternatives. There are things you can do if the property doesn't pass perk and the builder or you as a builder still want to try to find a way to turn it into an investment for the community and for yourself. If you have land or if you have property and you want solutions for it, you want a cash buyer, you want other options, reach out to Courtney at estateproservice.com. Um, 919-341-1992. If you One of the main ways that I'm able to find property is helping folks who are going through probate. Now, I'm not saying that if you don't have property, I can't support you. In fact, I help people all the time who don't have property involved in there. Not as an attorney, not as a financial advisor. I'm not giving legal or financial advice. I'm just offering my opinion, my sharing my experience, and quite often it does help people point them in the right direction. Check out the reviews. We're getting steady, steady, great reviews. I'm very proud of them, proud of the work we're doing over here. And so I hope this has been helpful to you. Yo, shout out to Coach Newkirk, the Tuscarora Boys High School team. Hashtag we up, all the way up in Loudoun County, Virginia. They are in the final four of their District 4 Dulles District, I believe, basketball tournament today. So we are definitely rooting for them. Boss man, we're expecting to win, and we're going to be heading down there next week to check you out in the finals, and see you bring home that state championship. Regardless, love you. Regardless outcome, you're done what you're supposed to do. You are letting your light shine. So exciting to see you and those boys and all the folks in the community just surround you, and just we're proud of you. So keep rocking on, my friend. And speaking of letting your light shine, this is the LITE, the Life and Transitions Experts podcast. You let your light shine. Cheers.